Ladies, welcome to this video. Coach Jerry here. Welcome again. This week I'm going live a lot. I know there's a lot of material, but I promise you it's actually for you and you'll have fun. I just finished my workout. I have a pretty good workout, feeling really good today. There are days that you feel much better than others, and this is kind of like the way I like to start the video because one thing that I thought I'd throw in there is always talking about consistency, right? You know, everybody always asks which one is the best workout if you want to lose belly fat, which one is the best workout if I'm on my 40. Should I just do a class? Is a class okay? Should I just do, HIIT workout, whatever? Which one is best, right? And my answer is always like, it depends. But also, definitely what is better is create consistency, right? And there is always a problem with consistency because consistency is driven upon it's predicated upon always being motivated, always having time, always wanting to work out or not. And I can tell you, like I'm telling you, maybe out of 10 workouts, and I love workouts. Like I haven't skipped more than a couple of weeks up from the last 20 years of working out. So I am somebody that love workout. But I'm gonna tell you, I don't feel like working out all the time. I feel very low in energy. I feel like I'm drowsy. I feel like I shouldn't really work out, and yet you have to kind of like do your best, right? Today I'm gonna do something really different than usual because this is something that I thought about because in the past I used to be a very educational driven coach, and I realized that doing that is kind of my passion. I have a lot of passion. I love for marketing. I have love for working out. I have love for teaching you guys whether you're a client or not. I have love to always changing lives. Yet, throughout these years, I have lost a little bit love for educating people and trading for what it takes to actually become a coach that is influential. Because realistically, it's like if I can, whether you're working me or not, if I can change your life, I'm gonna have done something positive, right? And unfortunately, you do not change people's life by just giving them education because we know that's kind of like the problem. We know that the biggest thing is that you have too much information, and yet in this era, I want to say after 2000, so we're talking about 25 years already, almost 24, that, we have more information than ever, have ever since the internet started, 97. I don't know what, actually, I might say something stupid now. It might be before 90s, right? But it's definitely not before 80s or early 90s or whatever. At least to the level that it's now, we have more information than ever in one day that is produced over a month or two before the internet started, right? So the problem is that now you have no control. You just go online and you just type in Google, just tell me which one the best workout to burn fat, to take up care of the love handles, to build muscle, to get lean, to get the abs, and then like you basically watch something and you go based on what the person based on the attention that the channel is getting. And this is common for YouTube, right? So I said, why don't I just review some workouts? And it's obviously fitting because um, I just put together a master class. So what I was gonna announce in there, but I want to announce it here, is that there are so many cool stuff going on. One thing, I'm gonna basically create a group, right? Separate a private community. I mean, this is a private community. I'm going to create one that is exclusively private for masterclass holder. And we're going to do activities in there, probably once a week, similar to what I'm doing here now. Okay. So, because the reason is that, and you're probably going to ask me, why don't you just do it in here? Well, the problem is that if you go on the resource section inside this group, on the guides, on the files, on the resources section, on the features, you have so many things. And the issue is that we have over 2,000 members in here. And I just always said that this group supposed to be for three things. Number one, for the culture, for the clients we are working with us, because I want them to be able to experience the best level experience ever. Secondly, I want to make it for a way for people to not test, but kind of observe whether or not it's the right thing for them, a coach. And thirdly, is for them to be able to build habits and go from this idea that they're just gonna do that and they're gonna achieve a result and understand that there is hard work. And this is why we throw in challenges. And you are a client or you're a non-client, you can still take the challenge. You can get paid for it. We just had Nina winning this challenge. And by the way, I see a couple of people watching. Let me know who you are. Don't worry, I cannot see who you are. Just I just see an eye that says two people. So just tell me if you're here live or if you're here on a replay. I mean, I promise you, this is gonna be very fun. I'm gonna request something from you. If you like it, really comment down below. This is something I like because I need to test content and I need to know that you actually liking this. Review videos go very well on YouTube, right? And again, this is gonna be here. It's gonna go on YouTube. And by the way, guys, like if you are loving this content. I get a lot of messages. I love your content. I mean, please go on YouTube, subscribe, comment, share. Because today I'm going to show you right now all the three channels I'm showing you on YouTube. They have thousands, if not millions of followers. And I have no problem having people like bodybuilding.com having millions of followers because they go by science. What I have a problem with is when we see random ass people, youngster, that have millions of followers spewing lies, telling you something that you're gonna achieve, and I'm gonna show you today why it's a problem. Is because they are contributing for them, like they're contributing from you feeling like you're gonna achieve a flat abs just by doing trash. Okay. And the problem is that like this is another side thing. Okay. I'm gonna say it now before we actually go into that. Um, is that there are, I always say, people, another thing that I see all the time is like, hey, Jerry, I wish I could work with you, but I really can't afford it. And one thing I say, okay, what, sometimes just by playing, we go into it, it's like, I really need to make more money. It's like, that online you can make a lot of money today. And you have to stop being you can be a protagonist, right, in a movie, or you can be somebody that watched the movie. You have to stop being the one that watched it. You have to start being a protagonist because some of those guys and girls, they have millions of people, of followers, millions of followers that are being, they enjoy the content, but probably they've been lied. So for whatever it is, and you contributing when you click on their stuff or when the algorithm show more people these lies, right? You're contributing for them earning six, if not seven figures. And if you don't understand that, what that means is like 100,000 to a million or up. You're contributing to that. And if that's not bad enough, because I have no problem on somebody that creates is a capitalist, and I have no problem with somebody doing that. I love that. I actually, I actually say, good job, do that. What I have a problem with, we have an industry right now that tells you that with like that, with an electrostimulation, you lose belly fat. I have a problem with that. I have a problem with saying, I'm going to show you now the workout, do this every morning and you're going to lose your love handles. I have a problem with that because it's total BS. And the problem is that when you do it and you're happy and then like you feel like something is working and then you come after a year and a half with me and you say, how can we fix it? Now it doesn't take you 2 months to fix it. It takes you 3 years to fix it. And that's a problem. Okay. And of course, we're never going to be able to change the industry course. Like we're going to always have this Herbalife, Weight Watchers, all that crap that promise you quick fixes without really changing the main thing, which is basically doing behavioral change and the hard work and going into understand that you need skills and you need to refine those skills and need to change the person, right? We don't change mindset because mindset means like maybe we shouldn't really drink every fucking weekend. We should do the work. And if I don't agree to that, then maybe I'm not ready to change, and which is totally fine. Okay. But what I thought I did is like if you love this content, I'm gonna create a group for future as well, in which master classes holders and uh, I'm gonna say clients as well, but at least the one that actually posts, because that's another thing I was gonna say. And again, I have no problem with clients we have which are very busy; they cannot post. But I would love to see more of that because it's a correlation straight up when we see people like Cecilia, Claudia, Marcela, every time that they post and then them having results versus somebody being lost. And it's like lost on, oh, I wish it was easier. Yeah, yeah, sure. I wish too. I wish too I was like, I don't know, I wish Everything was easier. I don't know, I could be 10% body fat, doing nothing, eating all the ice cream I want, and drinking every weekend. I wish it could be that easy, but it's not, especially on your Ford, right? So there is work to do. So let's review this thing, and let me know if you're loving this content. Like, good. Welcome, Kenya. I see that somebody had um, commented here. Shrida, good seeing you as well. Let me know if you like this stuff. Again, this is just something that is going to be a plus inside what we do in the future. And by the way, again, I don't want you guys to take it the wrong way either. It's like, why would I open a different group that is only exclusively for people that are posting and doing master classes? Because the problem is that when we have 2,000 people in here, only to have 100 people posting, the algorithm of Facebook is kind of weird. I just said it. The guy, I mean, not the guy, but I mean, Facebook uh, blocked me for 24 hours, I think, to send messages now in a message. So if you text me, by the way, and if I don't get back to you in a couple of days, it's not because I want to avoid you. It's just because, like, sometimes when you text, they block you, whatever. It's weird. I really know how to explain it better than that. It happens to everybody, right? So we kind of like they kind of like put blocks and stuff. But if you're a client, you have the app, you have email, you have WhatsApp. You can always like text me in those ways if you need quicker response. Why would I just do that as well? Is because I want um, the algorithm to show to the people that post the content, right? Today it's gonna be, I'm gonna show you what that means to be cooperative as well. And it's interesting because when you are that way, then in a group of 100 people, maybe 67 or 80 see the post. When we have 2,000 people and only 100 posts, maybe like, I don't know, maybe like 100 see the post, but then it's always 100 different. And the problem is that if you are one of those that never post and do nothing, then me not being able to show the people that are interested on it, that's kind of like annoying, right? And this is why I decided to do it the way. But let's jump into what we're here for today. I know that's gonna be quite exciting. If you see the replay, especially because you can skip all this intro. One of the things I asked in the beginning of the week was the biggest problem over 40, right? And it's keep being conclusive that it's like belly fat, there is like midsection weight, there is like always like not being able to be lean and tone. And by nature, I don't know why. The even biggest problem than that, I think that it is that people do not know what to do about it. They think that they're gonna just magically do 300 abdominals and you're gonna see abdominals, right? And when you start doing those, and then the day after you're like a little bit sore and you feel like there is a difference on the mirror, it's like, oh, cool, maybe I'm on the right track. And then obviously they don't get results because that's not the way to do it. And if you go online and you're totally confused, that's that's a problem as well, right? So what is it that I mean, what can we do with that? I cannot just stop all the information out there. I can show you frameworks for you to actually go and see whatever you want. See the fitness model, see, the buff guy. You just can just look at whatever you have and understand contextual, right? This is why, by the way, which you guys voted, this is why I create that masterclass for workouts, because this way we understand the principles, all the principles. And a good part about master classes is that you can come to and ask, you can stop me throughout the present. I'm gonna say, do you have any question? Many times to the presentation. And you can say, yes, how does that apply to me? Right? So if you want the master class, it's still available for, by the way, I ain't gonna raise no more the prices just I said it was gonna happen before Monday. It ain't gonna happen anymore. Right now, like it's sitting on 69 bucks. If you wanna get it, that's what's gonna be until Monday, which is gonna be Monday, next Monday, not tomorrow, next Monday. Um, but you need to be able to ask questions like, how is it for me? Is that applicable for me? Because that's kind of like the real thing. And if it's not, you need to go out there in the world, check information, and understand what should I do about it, right? And this is basically what we start. So let's pretend that you are a lady, right? You are over 40 or maybe close to it, because if you are in this channel, you should be over kind of close to it, right? And you ask me, how can I be like this? How can I be like this? You watch a picture and it's like, I want to be like her, right? 20%, this lady, right? Or 15% or 12%. And of course, that means that there is should supposed to be a ratio between muscle and fat so that you can visualize these things, right? But I can tell you that to get to this look, like 12% here or 15% or 20%, is not as simple as saying, let me just lose weight. How much weight should, it's like you have to have a good metabolic profile, and you have to build some good, you have to build some good muscle, right? Now, which one is the best workout, or like what should I do? I get this asked so many times, and it's like, well, quite simple. It depends. It depends of where you're starting, and it depends of like where we're going as well. This is what I was showing you before. Okay, I'm going to. How can I do it? Because I just want. Let's see if I share. Yeah, let's make me this way. Let's share this, right? What I have a big problem with, and again, nothing personal with this person. But it's everything about what you are gonna watch. Is that it says it in Italian? I don't know why it's in Italian, by the way. That's my language, but it's like it says how to lose the weight on the low end of fat, how to lose whatever weight on the low end of in 7 days, right? So let first and foremost, like when you do that, you just starting off by saying everybody can lose fat in 7 days. Doesn't matter if they have 20 kilo, 40 kilo. Like this lady has more, like, almost 2 million followers. Okay. I wanted to watch this very close. She's not over 40. So I chose this purposely so that you don't go ahead and say, oh, maybe this is what I'm supposed to be doing. Right. And the thing is that, of course, everybody has the choice to do, but I want to empower you to at least make the right choices. Um, Look at that stuff. This is basically almost a joke. You are moving your stuff like this supposedly make you gonna lose fat on your hips and love handles, right? How do they have 2 million followers is beyond my knowledge here. I have no idea how, but apparently it's very entertaining and I can understand that. Um, what's basically happening here is like, and you watch it, like all these comments like, oh yeah, great, great, amazing, like great workout. Should I do this every month? It's like people are totally confused. And what happening here on the real world, meaning like on when you do all this kind of stuff, right? What's happening here, you're basically burning a bunch of calories. Okay? You're burning about let's give them that. You're burning a bunch of calories. Is that useful? I mean, it depends. Like if you do that every single day, if you are a 20-year-old, that might be useful. If you're a 40-year-old, first and foremost, you're not going to have the time to do that every single day. If you have the time to do that every single day, you should really look into doing useful stuff, right? Because that's kind of like the thing. But you can achieve much faster results with a lot less than every single day. Okay. What's happening? There is no little to no production of the hypertrophy or muscle or whatever the case is. And therefore, that's kind of like a problem. Okay. The second thing I want to go through, and I'm going to kind of rush because I just realized that it's already 8 something and I do need to get somewhere later. It's basically body pump. Okay. And this is kind of like they have a science behind it, less meals. I'm sure that a lot of people are already watched this before. It's quite entertaining. It's quite cool to do. If you are watching this or if you have done this before, it's kind of cool. So body pump, as you see here, they use a lot of very different resistance. They just do, sometimes they do full movement, sometimes they use half range of motion, sometimes they do, all the muscles, sometimes they do, let me just go to that part, the rep effect, sometimes slower, sometimes faster. Um, and as you see here, like people struggle doing this. This is actually a workout for sure. They also do. Olympic lift, which I truly feel like if you're doing with this weight, you're not gonna get hurt. But if you're doing with another weight, it might be an issue. Okay. Um, and what to say about body pump? What I say about body pump is that it's hard to progress. There is too much randomness, right? Especially if you're a lady over 40, doing this kind of classes 3, 4 times a week it could be counterproductive if you don't have a base before that you did it like 6 or 7 times. If you do it once or twice, that's totally fine. Yet, like always, I always say, when you work with anybody, with a coach or whatever, us or not us, it's always about measuring, doing something for a while, and then measuring again and see how your body reacts. If you're losing weight, if you look better, if your measurements are going down, if your energy is okay, your sleep is okay, and all that stuff that for sure shows you that it's like you're progressing, right? Today we're going into a context, and I said I decided to just give it to you like that, and it's like it's important. I think one of the most misunderstood problems, bottleneck, is that ladies do not understand which one is the best workout, but they do not understand the big picture. It's like many workouts are okay, yet if the body fights back, is kind of a problem, right? And that shows is shown, and this is one principle we're gonna touch here, but it's gonna be very detailed inside our masterclass, is that gas syndrome. It's like general adaptation syndrome. As you can see here, there is an optimal stress level, but when stress is too high, it's a problem. When stress is too low, it's a problem, right? And to show you better, this is basically what it looks like, right? It's like a bucket, right? On the bottom bucket is like low stress. On the top bucket is like high stress, right? When you're at the bottom, you relax. Over here, you can cope. Over here, it's becoming very anxious, and over here is overflowing, right? When you can no longer cope with your stress, right? And you put so many things in there, family, lack of sleep, poor diet, worries or whatever, right? Then your body shuts down temporarily, right? And then that's kind of like creates a problem. So if you're working out 5 times and your workout is too excessive, even if you like it, it might be counterproductive, right? And of course, I just touched this right now because I thought it's worth to understand that this is basically the bottleneck in workouts. Okay. And again, like you saw, it's poor diet, health, workouts, family, work, so many things, right? But one thing inside a workout that I see very often is people retaining water, is people getting very stressed, is people not recovering, is people getting injured. And it's because they choose a random workout. Random mean like today I'm gonna do kickboxing, tomorrow I'm gonna do body pump, tomorrow I'm gonna do some strength training, but they don't understand strength. It's like I'm gonna do strength training 3 times 10 and then I never progress. I always do the same thing. Or they're like walking on a treadmill for an hour. Random, random. The last one, and I'm gonna say that of course, if I were to choose which one I should go with these three, I would go with this guy, but not because of the guy, but because they're the least used in science. Is bodybuilding.com. And again, trust me, you're not gonna become a bodybuilder just by doing this kind of exercise. This is Craig Capurso, and I love his workouts because they're very science based. And what is showing you here is like doing a 10 reps push-ups and then 10 barbell and then 3 burpees and then 5 of this kind of stuff, and then it's showing you that you should just do another, what is it doing here, 1 rep max. And every single time you do this kind of circuits, then you're basically gonna increase 1 rep. Okay, this is one way potentially to do cardio. Okay, guys, I'm going really fast because I have to go somewhere. Otherwise, we could talk about this, you know, very much. There are several videos about this guy or about bodybuilding.com. They don't pay me to say that. I would just follow them if you have to follow or anything that is really strength related. One thing, a big rock that we're going to talk about in the workout masterclass is like big rocks. Number one is lower stress. Big rock number two is really strength training. And strength training, not just random reps, progressive overload, meaning like how do you go from 3 times 10 to 4 times 10 to 3 times 6 2 or 3 times 8 and then 3 times 6. And then when you get there, then you just start from the beginning. How and when do you need to start really go heavy, meaning like with weights because of the age and all that stuff, neural system, right? So there are several things, but again, if you want me to review any workouts, because like, this is gonna be very interesting, and I said, let me know if this is cool, if you like this kind of stuff, because this is practical stuff like that is what we're gonna do in the future as well. If you want me to review any workouts, you can post the workout here. You can post the person that does the workout as well. Meaning, like if you have a favorite influencer, post it. We're gonna review the whole workout and going like that. But anyway, I hope this was helpful. At least it's gonna give you a trajectory of saying, okay, this is the people I should actually listen to. Nothing wrong with classes, but likely you're not gonna have your body composition with a class unless you're already getting that body composition. And then, of course, you have science. Okay. What is science and how do we use science for the right thing? Okay. Because now that you know that strength training is good, how can I just learn about progressive overload? You can actually go on YouTube and actually do that. Show me a progressive overload kind of, I mean, whatever, right? You're going to find information. The problem is that you're going to find a lot of crap, as you saw. You're going to find a lot of not real information or not useful for you. And this is why I always say, whenever we do something like, a workshop, master classes, challenges, working, even when we work with me, right? It's like when you have these check-ins, like use it wisely, right? Don't just say, oh, I thought I was going to get faster results. What am I doing? When we work together, my objective is like pushing you forward as quick as we can with a smaller amount of traction, meaning like with a smaller amount of like resistance. This is basically what we're doing. When you want to learn the skills, it's different. We need to go a lot into that. But let me know if this is cool, if you like that. Comment. If you want more of this, let me know. If you have anything that I should review or you want an opinion from me of doing this kind of workout, let me know. Comment if you want with a link on the comment box. Okay, not don't just spam the group with a bunch of like links. Okay, this is the workout you should. By the way, if you're actually thinking one of those workouts is the one thing you should do, I mean, I don't think this group is really for you. Meaning like if you talk about the first one, it's like if you actually love all these influencers, they all have groups. Just just migrate to that group. That's gonna be much better for you, right? If instead you don't know what to do and you say which one is better, I mean, don't ask this question, which one is better. I cannot really answer in one response. What I can do is like, what I can tell you is like, show me whatever you're doing, and let's unpack that. Let's see if we can help. Okay, Coach Jerry here. All the best. Much love. Talk to you very soon.